Hello, I am delighted to share with you Exploring Environmental Science Updated for AP. National Geographic Learning develops programs that are centered on connections, explorations, and digital leadership. That is the foundation on which Exploring Environmental Science for AP was designed. The authors Miller and Spoolman wrote a program specifically for the AP Environmental Science course. They utilized the knowledge and expertise of Jean Cady, a longtime AP Environmental Science instructor and College Board exam reader, mentor, and coach. Their collaboration led to this program, one that connects the signature Miller-Spoolman approach to the content with design that closely aligns to the AP Environmental Science framework and focuses on the big picture, that is, the interrelationships within our world. Updated with new content, AP-style questions, and alignment to the new AP Environmental Science course framework for 2019. We also offer a correlation to the science curriculum framework. So let me begin by showing you the layout of the program. You'll find the topic correlation in the front matter of the text. There are many features in this program that will aid in your students' success. The chapter order helps students build that story of global sustainability. The AP course framework theme serves as a theme for the content structure, with the overarching theme being global sustainability. To help your students in honing their problem-solving skills using math, you'll also see special sections called Math Connections. And we all know how important these skills can be in successfully completing the AP exam. And AP-style questions, both multiple choice and free response questions, are found at the end of every chapter. So let's talk about the resources. For your teacher, there is a teacher edition and resource guide, an instructional guide for every chapter, along with a pacing guide and a focus on AP Big Ideas. Digitally, you also have access to an instructor companion site, and it will include activities, labs, and projects. You also have Cognero, our testing generator. For your students, they have the student book, their digital MindTap access, as well as digital access to Fast Track 205. Chapters open with these eye-catching images that only National Geographic photographers can provide. Every chapter opens with images such as this one, along with key questions that really help focus the students' learning. Our National Geographic Explorers are some of the best in their respective fields, and there's no better way to teach students about our environment than with these experts. This program features over 30 National Geographic Explorers, and it provides an inspiring view into STEM fields. You'll find core case studies that help center students' learning on the most relevant and current topics, and critical thinking questions prompt your students to think deeper about the so what or the relevancy of the topic. There is very clear organization of the content, and it steers your students in the right direction. Students can apply their understanding through a section called Apply Your Knowledge. So let's go into Chapter 6 in MindTap to see some of those features. I've opened two browsers so you can see the assignment, which is on the right, and Google Earth is on the left. Students will follow a series of steps and navigate Google Earth and take a virtual field trip like no other. After zooming in, let's place in those coordinates, and we'll go straight to Wilson Island. After zooming in, students can then drop a pegman to the west of Wilson Island, and then they get to view an underwater wonder. You'll find lessons like this one in each chapter. Woven throughout the chapters, you will see a section called Critical Concepts in Sustainability. These lead the students to think about various topics in relation to the content being learned. An insert like this one discusses how scientists have used biomimicry. One important note, notice the free response question is part of this section. There are also sections called Science Focus and Engineering Focus. Science and engineering practices come into focus as students learn about how environmental engineers are solving problems. Students are prompted for discussion and to think critically to connect the issues presented. You'll find additional hands-on activities in your teacher's edition, and this is more opportunities for students to explore science and engineering as an interdependent practice, not just a body of knowledge. Math connections are a perfect place for students to practice the skill sets needed to approach certain types of free response questions. You'll find AP review questions at the end of each chapter, as well as exercises on data analysis. So these are just a few examples of the types of review questions you will find. We ensured that practice problems targeted what your students need. Next, I'd like to introduce you fully to MindTap and show you that it provides all the tools your teachers need to customize the learning path for your students. Now let's take a look at the MindTap platform from the student side. I've opened up the student book, and let's open up and go into Unit 1 and take a look at Chapter 1. The first thing that you'll notice is this is where your students can find their assignments that have due dates. You can see what's already been completed. Students then have readings, case studies, chapter reviews, opportunities to apply their knowledge. Then they can do some testing on their own and then continue on. And finally, they will have a unit summary where they will find AP review questions for that particular unit. So let's go back up, and I'd like to go into Section 1. And looking at the student content, you'll once again notice that annotations can be made by the students in all these colors. They also can create post-it notes to correlate the highlighted sections for reminders. We also have a point of use vocabulary pop-up. Across the top, they have the read speaker capability.
Environmental science is a study of connections in nature. The environment is everything around you.
Students also can control font size, and they can bookmark pages and print as necessary. On the right-hand side, notice that we have our Mind App dock with a number of supported extra apps. They do have access to a full ebook for uninterrupted reading. And my favorite feature is Study Hub. Students can go in and gain quick access to any bookmarks that they've saved, get straight into their notes and highlights that their teacher has sent to them, as well as those they have captured themselves. And finally, creating a study guide. With just a few clicks, they actually can create their own study guide. And in that study guide, you'll see all the highlights that they took, any highlights that were included from their teacher, all of the identified vocabulary from the reading, and then as well as any post-it notes that they have captured themselves. Students also have the ability to create flashcards. There is a flashcard deck that's available for each of the chapters in the textbook, but students can simply add their own by highlighting their definition, dropping in their term, and adding it to their flashcard deck. Then it's here and readily available for them to study. Now let's get back to teacher support. Teachers have an instructor companion site where they will find an image library for each chapter as well as ready-to-use PowerPoints. The course support includes answer keys and the AP Teacher's Resource Guide. Cognero is an online test bank that includes basic assessment items for every chapter, as well as additional AP-specific multiple choice and free response items. It is a flexible online system that allows you to author, edit, and manage questions, to create multiple test versions in an instant, and deliver your test from your LMS, your classroom, or wherever you want. Let's take a look at some of the teacher customization abilities. From the learning path, you have the ability to hide and rearrange content. You can see that hiding is just a simple click, and then you can release it when you want your students to see that material. Open up Chapter 6. And I'm going to select a reading. I'm going to show you how I can rearrange the content as well. At the very bottom where it says location, I can choose to put the section, and you'll now notice that they are out of order. I can also go into a reading and show you how to insert content as a teacher in line for students. First of all, you'll notice that annotations can be made in various colors. Teachers can share with students highlights and notes by highlighting in orange. And by selecting an insertion point, teachers can add any content from Google Drive or OneDrive, videos, or web links. And here, I'm adding a web link. I can change the title, add some additional text before and after, and now you can see very quickly that it's just been embedded into the line of text with the students. Now let's talk for just a moment about the Teacher's Gradebook and Progress app. On the right-hand side, of your navigational deck, you'll see that there's recent activity scores that will be listed. These are live scatter plots that will populate as assignments reach their due dates. Also, teachers can go into their Progress app and glean all kinds of information. They can see upcoming assignments and submitted assignments, making edits with them as they need to. There's also wonderful analytics, both class-based as well as individual-based. By drilling into the gradebook, you can go into individual students, get that same analytical information about readings, number of assignments they've viewed, media they've viewed, and how much time they spent on the platform and how many logins they have. Then you can also take a look at all of their assignments and drill into those as needed, actually seeing their work and making score adjustments as desired. So you can actually go in and see the students' work. The Gradebook and Progress app are a wonderful asset to the MindTap platform. With Fast Track to a 5, your students will stay on that track to success. They will be able to prepare for the environmental science test effectively and efficiently because this program includes a diagnostic test, test-taking strategies, and full-length practice exams complete with answer keys. So let's see what that's going to look like in MindTap. Our dashboard looks familiar, and right at the top you'll see the Fast Track to a 5 materials listed. There are practice tests and supplemental study materials, but the support continues well within each chapter. Within each chapter, in the summary, you will locate additional AP review questions and free response questions. So today I've shared with you environmental science, and it adheres to the AP themes for environmental science. It is centered on the 6 principles of sustainability, and of course, you get your National Geographic images and total access to your National Geographic Explorers. I'd like to say thank you for spending a few minutes with me today while I shared exploring environmental science with you. National Geographic Learning and Cengage is looking forward to partnering with you to bring our world into your classrooms. Should you need an additional presentation or further information, please don't hesitate to contact your sales representative.